According to a very peculiar source, we will call it, there is some friction happening right now inside of the Trump campaign. This source claims that they have heard from people working at the campaign, and these people are raising concerns about Donald Trump's mental health, specifically following his claim during his press conference last week, where he said that he was in a near-fatal helicopter crash with Willie Brown, which, of course, never happened. Like, this was beyond any lie Donald Trump has ever told, and he told plenty more during that event, but he made up this fake tragedy, like, just out of thin air. Like, we would have known if Donald Trump had a near-death experience in a helicopter. It wouldn't just now be coming out and people being like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. He's been famous for our entire lives, folks. We would have heard about it. Okay, it would have been a thing. But it never happened. So this, again, peculiar source put this out on social media. There are major concerns within the Trump campaign about his mental health and decline following his recent press conference. Sources within the Trump campaign expressing serious concerns about his mental decline following his press conference. This incident has led to discussions within the campaign about potential next steps regarding Trump's mental health and how it might impact his political future. So, that seems like a pretty big deal, right? If Trump's own staffers, if the people in his campaign are like, hey, there's something wrong with this guy to the point where we need to have discussions about it. Now, I'd be all on board with that, and I agree with it. Okay, I do think, obviously, there's something wrong with Donald Trump, and there needs to be a discussion about what to do with him. The problem is the source, okay? The source for this information comes from none other than Rudy Giuliani's formerly close friend, Lev Parnas. Now, Lev Parnas, of course, was sentenced to 22 months in prison. He served his time. He is out now. But, that's... I don't know. Can we trust Lev Parnas? Should we not trust Lev Parnas? I think I do. I mean, I really think I do, because even after, it was revealed he had the whole thing with Giuliani, and then he was, indicted, convicted, and all that, he still would say things on social media, reveal evidence on social media that shows that, hey, yeah, he did some shady things, but at the end, he is kind of a trustworthy guy when it comes to divulging information. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and assume that he is telling the truth, because this is not a giant leap. We all saw, if not, we've seen clips or we've read articles or you've seen people talking about it, what Trump did on Thursday. As I talked about over the weekend, to me, the whole thing was a masterclass in how to spot symptoms of mental illness. Like that should be taught in psychology courses in college. Like, they should show that and say, all right, everybody, list all the mental illnesses you spotted from this guy. So I do believe that there are enough people in Trump's campaign that there probably are whispers right now. Like, hey, he's just inventing things that anybody with internet access can spend 5 seconds checking to realize it's not true. That's a problem for the campaign. Because if you think that Trump's going to go the rest of his time without people saying, hey, remember when you lied about that helicopter crash? Hey, remember when you lied that you never told your crowd to say lock her up, or that you told them to stop saying it? Like, that never happened. And all of the other things you also mentioned never happened. It's going to come back to bite him. And these campaign staffers, who want to still have careers, but they're going to understand pretty quickly, you're not going to have a career in politics if you stay on this losing campaign. That is why, by the way, we have seen a lot of formerly pro-Trump people ditch him. And some of them have come back, right? Kyle Rittenhouse ditched Trump, and then everybody got mad at him. And he's like, no, I'm back. I'm sorry. Don't make me cry again. Joe Rogan dumped him. Tim Pool dumped him for even less time than Kyle Rittenhouse. Then he came back based on what he posted on social media. But you've got these high-profile Trump supporters that are like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And then some of them get shamed into coming back, but his own staff understands this. Okay, that's the point here. They know what's going on. They see it every day. They have to live it. They have to live with it. They have to manage it with their job. And if they stay on this sinking ship, they know where the sinking ship goes. It's kind of hard to find a job after you've gone down with the ship. So here is what I think could happen if Donald Trump continues to perform the way that he did this past Thursday. If, of course, what Parnas is saying is true. So again, we assume that what Parnas is saying is true and that there's already rumblings inside the Trump campaign about his declining mental health. So we accept that. We also accept that the polls are going to get worse for Trump. Harris's rallies are going to get bigger. She's going to keep outraising him with fundraising. Trump's going to get more crazy. So then this group over here, as Trump gets more crazy, expands. It starts to get bigger and bigger. And eventually, if the polls continue in the way that they are going right now, this group of people looks around at each other and they say, listen, I want to have a career in politics, but if I stay with this embarrassing campaign, I can't put this on my resume. I got to get out of here. I'm leaving. So people start leaving. But it's not just the leaving that hurts Donald Trump. I think that will hurt him because the craziest and the worst and the stupidest people are going to stay. The competent people are the ones who are going to leave. And then what happens? They just kind of sheepishly shrug away, try to go find other campaigns to work for. Most of them, sure. Some of them are going to start talking. And that's what Donald Trump has to worry about. Because think of it this way. If we see the symptoms of Donald Trump's mental decline on full display in public, imagine what they see behind the scenes. Imagine the stories they have to tell. Imagine the media coverage these people could get, boosting their own profiles if they leave the campaign and start to go talking. That is a pretty big reward. And they will see that. And if they don't, maybe they'll see this and realize, oh, wow, I never even thought of that. I could make a name for myself. I could get out before things get too crazy and then absolutely gain a massive following for my future career by speaking out about this guy's mental problems. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I am not psychic, but I think that is a realistic possibility, all based, of course, on whether or not what Lev Parnas is telling us is the truth or not. And if it is, it's bad news for Donald Trump, not because what it means right now, but what it could mean for that campaign and the talkers and the leakers in the very near future. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.